This is my iPhone 13 Pro, and if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I've been using this exclusively as my only camera for almost 2 years. It has done a great job in helping me make videos. I still can't believe that it's better than most beginner mirrorless cameras. The video quality coming out of it is still very good. The number of shot opportunities you get with its size is insane, and the workflow from iPhone to Mac is the icing on the cake. But I have a few problems. The first one are the lenses. These are very good, but it's a phone and there are clear size constraints. Only the main camera is going to do a good job in creating that shallow depth of field that we generally associate with high-end cameras. Both the ultra-wide and telephoto are working with smaller sensors, so the moment you switch to them, the quality deteriorates a lot. I honestly find the perspective of the ultra-wide and telephoto to be the coolest, but I never end up using them because they're very bad at low light and have no depth. Oh my god, I'm too short. I can spare the ultrawide, at least it doubles as a macro lens, but the telephoto is downright terrible even if you give it light. Cinematic mode isn't great, it just looks very faked honestly. I've never used cinematic mode ever since I got this phone.
And let's not forget the iPhone creates these weird light artifacts the moment you start shooting in front of a light source, which is quite annoying.
The second is the image processing. Generally, the iPhone's footage is pretty good. It does the best compared to any other phone out there right now, handling everything perfectly. But it does a lot of noise reduction and skin smoothing, which can be irritating to work with. For talking heads like this, it's fine. But when I shoot phone screens, it looks super processed. The iPhone tends to always keep its shutter at a high speed to ensure everything looks smooth. To compensate for this, the ISO is always high, resulting in noise. I know the iPhone 15 Pro has ProRes Log, which removes all the processing the iPhone does and leaves you with a clean footage to work on. But 1 minute of 4K ProRes is 6 GB. I have ProRes on my iPhone and I've never used it once. I don't really see a practical use case for it on a phone. More than ProRes, the iPhone needs manual controls over shutter, white balance and ISO for video. That's when it becomes a proper video camera, like how Apple pitches it to be. Even Apple used a third-party app when they shot an entire Apple event with just an iPhone. The third issue is overheating. The iPhone becomes quite hot when shooting videos at 4K for extended periods of time. To cool down, it stops recording and skips frames often. This becomes quite bothersome when recording audio separately as it goes out of sync. But the last problem I have can't be fixed by putting better lenses, ProRes, or even a cooling system, and that's variable frame rate. I don't think anyone has talked about this when they talk about shooting videos with the iPhone. A 4K 30fps video from an iPhone can either be 27fps or 33fps, but it becomes pretty annoying when you try to match up external audio or even slow down 4K 60fps clips. No joke, even if you record audio internally with the iPhone, the audio still doesn't sync properly. How is that even possible? I turned off auto FPS on day one and it still doesn't fix this issue. This is a software trick Apple uses to save storage space on the iPhone. Even if you use ProRes, it makes no difference. And let's say your phone starts getting hot. Expect your frame rates to drop and have a lot of still frames. It gets pretty annoying for my workflow. And that's why I don't want to shoot with the iPhone. As good as the quality and versatility is, the issues aren't something I want to deal with when I'm trying to edit a lot of videos. So what am I switching to? Not an Android phone. This is the S23 Ultra and it might be as good as the iPhone, but the iPhone still beats it in key areas like dynamic range and low light. And even the S23 Ultra has the variable frame rate issue. Why? It was time I got a real camera. Not this one. And I've been waiting for this moment for years. I've been waiting for a moment where I can finally ditch my Canon 550D and shoot on a proper camera that has all the features I want. Now that's a Canon event. Before I even got the iPhone 13 Pro, I contemplated into getting the Sony a6600 or the Sony a7C, but both have their own set of issues and don't have 4K 60fps. Trust me, buying a camera now in 2024 is a whole lot easier than it used to be a few years ago. There are a lot of great options now from Canon, Sony, Fujifilm, Apple, and a sub to this channel will be an alpha move. Yeah. But seriously, I want to hit 100k subs by the end of this year, and if I do, I'll finally reveal what does Sankyo mean. So what did I end up choosing? The Sony a6700. This has to be the best tech purchase I've had in years. It fills all the needs I need from a camera while doing more. It has 4K 120fps, the best autofocus system in a camera, easy to use dials and buttons. There is so much that this camera can do that honestly I've not had time to go around every single feature. But I'm very excited to learn and shoot with it. And it's not just great for videos, but photos too. I love taking photos with a real camera, and I've got some stunning pictures with the A6700. In fact, I've been shooting with it for the past 2 months, released 5 videos in a quality that I'm honestly very proud of. I can upgrade things like the lens easily, and I'm happy that a lot of you have noticed the quality improvement that's there in my recent videos. A good reminder to follow me on X and Instagram. I post a lot of behind the scenes content and interesting tidbits. Speaking of lens, what did I go for? I did not go through the route of a kit lens. I know they are not the greatest in terms of quality, nor a prime lens. I wasn't sure of what focal length I'll need for certain scenarios. So I went with the Sigma 18-50 f2.8, mostly due to its small size and constant f2.8 aperture. It's super versatile, covers all my needs perfectly. I do have a few small issues with it, but I'm fine with living with these compromises. As long as everything is better than the iPhone, I'm happy. I feel sad for people who got clickbaited into this video. I'm sorry. But it's not like this camera has no issues. It overheats a lot. Every time I'm done with a shoot, the camera body is pretty hot to the touch. I've had it shut down on me a couple of times due to overheating. Even now, it stopped recording out of nowhere cause it overheated. Seems like the overheating curse from the iPhone hasn't left me yet. Please leave me alone. There is some amount of rolling shutter. It's not that drastic but noticeable with quick pans. The 4K 120 video I talked about does a 1.5 times crop, which kinda ruins the look I'd be going for. The stabilization is not as good as the iPhone, but average. But the biggest problem I have are the video file sizes. They are massive. All of the projects I've shot since I got this are about 150 to 200 gigs in size. This is mostly towards my part where I shoot on the highest bitrate and quality possible. I really think I should dial it down a bit.
That's better.
But it isn't the file sizes, overheating, or even the stabilization that's causing the most amount of issues. It's my M1 MacBook Pro. I honestly thought it can handle the files coming out of the camera, but playback performance on Final Cut Pro is pretty choppy. I have gotten so many crashes, dropped frames and failed video renders that it's getting pretty irritating. I had to literally delay dropping videos sometimes just so I can get to export one. I honestly can't edit a video in peace. I've had playback issues with the footage from the iPhone too, but it wasn't this drastic. I think M1 did not age well from my use case. I will surely be upgrading to a newer MacBook Pro. There are a lot of performance improvements and essential ports like the SD card reader that I can surely take advantage of. I think I'm one of the few people who's going to be upgrading from M1 to M3, but that's all for another video. I have a lot more issues than just video editing. I think I'm having a whole setup upgrade thanks to my obsession with making quality videos. This is an expensive upgrade, not gonna lie. Speaking of makeover, I have a few channel updates. Oh my god, those infamous channel updates. I promise there are gonna be a lot more videos this year. A lot more than I've ever done in all my years of doing YouTube. I have a goal to hit 100k subs by the end of this year. It's a huge goal, but I'm sure it's possible with all the support I've been getting from all of you. Thank you so much for sticking through, commenting, and even watching all my videos. It means a lot and keeps me creative enough. If you want to see how I tried using this phone for a week in 2024, click here.